Thank you so much for kindly obliging, Mr. Ambassador. Now, let's talk about some of the things that are of interest to Filipinos, like education and sports, for instance. Tell us, please, are there exchange or scholarship programs between our two countries?
We have a program of scholarships that every year we can offer some worthy students for the Philippines. It's a limited number, and it's not part of any specific protocol of exchanges. On the other hand, there are a number of agreements directly done between Italian universities, institutions, and Philippine counterparts. Again, this is also a field that we could develop much more, because I believe that our people have a very, Italians and Filipinos have an easy way to interact with each other, especially in the field of education. For example, we noticed that our courses of Italian that are taught in some institutions here are quite successful, and they raise a lot of interest. So we are trying to work to increase the number of Italian classes. At the moment we have programs, meaningful programs running in UP and in Ateneo, but there is also other institutions that host Italian courses. There is a huge potentiality there to develop the teaching of Italian language.
Now, let's move on now to sports, Mr. Ambassador. By the way, what's the favorite of Italians? And are there any sports programs that our countries are involved in?
Well, Italy is, of course, is football, or soccer, as Americans would say, country. It's not a brainer. That's our national sport. Everybody loves it in Italy. Everybody plays it. All the kids that you see in the school, in the parishes, in everywhere, that's their main choice as a sport. It's in a way part of our nature. But there are other sports that are that developed quite substantially, I would say. For example, volleyball became very popular among Italian young people. In fact, whereas many know that Italy has a glorious history in football with many World Cups winners and a national team that traditionally is one of the strongest around the world, not many notice perhaps that our volleyball teams have been also at the top often during the years, at the top of the international rankings. Also, I would say sports connected to the sea and the water are very popular in Italy, and we have very good traditions and schools of that. Think about sailing, great tradition, coming back from the days of Italian, mariner traditions, and swimming, diving from platform and from trampoline diving. Another sport I should mention, which is one of the very top, where Italy excels in all Olympics and in all the World Championship, is fencing. We have an old, traditional, and highly qualified school of fencing, one of the best in the world. This is to mention a few.
Moving on to the leisure side, Mr. Ambassador, can you give us an idea about the destinations in the Philippines that you have visited?
I visited several places in the Philippines already when I was here back in the late 80s, and then also during my over 3 years that I've been here. In general, I must say I was always struck by the beauty of the country, the beauty of the forest, the mountains, the countryside. It's particularly appealing. Somebody who loves nature should really come to the Philippines, and because I think this country is really gifted. I am particularly a sea lover. I'm a passionate diver. I've been doing this sport for most of my life, so of course here I found a paradise. I greatly enjoy diving all over the country. So be it the Mindanao, be it Palawan, be it Batangas area, be it Mindoro. I've been in a lot of places. When I was here back in late 80s, I used to go very often to Anilao areas, which at the time was starting to develop as a diving spot. And then I discovered other beautiful areas. There are many, so it's really hard to mention all of them. I must say I have a soft spot for Palawan. Palawan for me is one of the most beautiful destinations from all point of views, particularly for diving and for observing nature.
Having said that, Mr. Ambassador, what places in the Philippines would you recommend to your fellow Italians to visit?
Well, when they ask me advice about travels to the Philippines, I always recommend them look at Palawan, look at Mindoro, especially the Puerto Galera area, which is so near to Manila and it's so beautiful. Especially diving there, I realize how rich of biodiversity it is. I heard of some studies that consider that area one of the top spots in biodiversity in the world, and I totally agree with it. And also, sometimes I suggest my friends to discover unusual destination. For example, in Mindanao there are beautiful places to visit. Absolutely. Of course, the situation there requires some advanced information and some care, but it's definitely it's a pity not to visit such beautiful areas as you can find down there.
Tell us, please, how can we further promote travel and tourism to the Philippines and likewise to Italy? And can you also give us an idea of how many Filipinos go to Italy and vice versa?
Tourism is very important in our bilateral relations. We have noticed that there was an increase in the number of Filipino visitors to Italy. This is partly due to the fact that the economic growth of these last few years, substantial growth, has increased the number of the middle-income families, middle-lower income. So the middle class basically is growing, especially the young one, the millennials, the new professionals. These people love to travel. They put travel as one of the first targets of how they spend the new income. So they love to go to Europe. Europe is very attractive. And in Europe, Italy is very often the first destination, the top spot they want to visit. Especially Rome, Venice, and Florence. This sort of magic triangle where there is so much history, culture, and beauty to be seen. And now, in these past few years, we gave, I would say, an average of between 7,000 and 9,000 tourist visas every year, which is nothing significant, but I'm sure it will grow quite a lot because with the economy growing at this rate, I have no doubt that the tourism will increase. On the other hand, Italians who come to the Philippines, they definitely love nature, they love the sea, they love the beautiful beaches. And the number is, I think the latest data also, we are around 7,000 average these past 3 years. It could be much higher. But on the other hand, we must consider that we have some objective restraints. First one is that we don't have, as of now, we don't have, or I should say, we don't have any more a direct flight between Italy and the Philippines, because we used to have it. In my younger years here, I remember I fly with Philippine Airlines or with Alitalia directly from Manila to Rome. Now we have to take other routes with other stops on the way. So I hope really that sooner or later a direct flight will be reactivated because it's very important to promote tourism.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, for guesting in our show. It has really been an honor to have you with us. But before you go, would you have any message to our viewers who would love to visit Italy?
Yes, I definitely encourage our Filipino friends to visit Italy. In a way, I don't think you need much encouragement because everybody knows about our country. I'm happy to note that there is love for the Philippines, for Italy here in the Philippines. People are attracted to our country. They love the culture, they love the environment, they love the food. Our food is extremely popular, and I can see here in the Philippines a growing number of Italian restaurants or of Italian products that you find in the supermarket. So Italian cuisine is definitely expanding. I suggest to go, to the visitors who have a little more time to spend, say 1 week or a little more than 1 week, to go beyond the traditional destinations of Rome, Florence, Venice, or Pisa sometimes, to expand to other venues, because Italy, it's all beautiful. I know I sound biased because I represent Italy here, but it's a country extremely attractive to the visitors. For example, there are destinations in the south of Italy that are rarely part of tour packages because they require a little more time to travel southwards. And like Naples. Naples is a beautiful city full of history, set in an enchanting bay that a little bit reminds you of Manila Bay in a way. Naples should be visited possibly. Capri is a famous island. It's a famous destination of high-end tourism, very nearby Naples. Capri should also be seen by everybody once in their lifetime. And I could go on and on. Puglia, for example, Puglia is a region that is at the heel of the Italian boot. If you consider the shape of Italy, the heel of that boot, of that shoe, is Puglia. And the Puglia region is absolutely beautiful to visit. The sea, the color of the land is kind of a reddish color. It's a land of olive trees, a land of grapes, with gentle hills, ancient monuments, castles. It's really it's a magic place to visit. And finally, because I know I cannot quote all the places you should go, but I want to remind you that the Alps are absolutely stunning. The Alps is the crown of mountains that encloses Italy in the north, from the east to the west. It's like an arch of mountain with many skiing resorts, destinations, absolutely stunning in their beauty, especially during the winter season. And I would really encourage everybody to visit those areas.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. I'm sure a lot of our viewers are now raving to visit those places that you've mentioned. Thank you once again, and a very pleasant evening to you, sir.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
That was the Ambassador of Italy to the Philippines, His Excellency Massimo Roscigno, our esteemed guest this week on Embassy Row.